Hi, third grade readers. Are you guys getting used to seeing this signpost anchor chart? I sure hope so. By the time we are done with our Edward Tooling read aloud, you guys are going to be total experts on some of these. And what I think will be happening, since you all are such great readers, is that you are going to start having these same noticings during your independent reading time. And it's going to help you know your characters so much deeper, make way better and more accurate predictions, and even become a reading detective, making lots of inferences as you journey through your stories. So let's review ones that we already know. Starting with our contrast and contradictions. This, of course, is when the author totally surprises us by having the character act differently than we're used to, or maybe they say something that's unexpected, or maybe their feelings shift in a very meaningful way. And good readers will not only notice this, but they will also ask, why is the character doing that? Which can help them make a better prediction or maybe develop an inference about something that's going to happen later on in the plot, or give us a heads up on a conflict that a character is going to be experiencing. Now, the first time I noticed this was when Pellegrina decided to finally tell Abilene and Edward Tooling a bedtime story. And it wasn't just any bedtime story. You know, I'm used to bedtime stories having a happy ending so I can drift off into my nighttime dreams. And of course, we are surprised because Pellegrina tells a story where there is a very sad ending for a princess who did not know how to experience love. Now, a good reader probably would have paused and said, it appears that Pellegrina directed the story at Edward, as she closes with these words, "You disappoint me." So it makes me wonder if Edward is going to be experiencing a conflict similar to that of the princess. Only time will tell, third grade. Then we noticed again and again that stars kept showing up. And we noticed that those stars seemed to provide Edward with a sense of comfort. I'm wondering if he's going to need comfort throughout the story as he continues to confront lots of challenges, climbing up his mountain of a story and reaching a final climax. And today we will learn all about an aha moment. This is when a character finally realizes or understands something. As a reader, we have to pause and ask ourselves, what does this realization mean for us? Could it be showing us something about how the character is developing? Or could it be a clue from the author that the plot is going to change its course a little bit? We must pause and ask ourselves, how might this change things? Could mean that a character figured out a problem. Could mean that a character is understanding a life lesson. If so, we can solve the conflict or figure out the theme of the story. Let's see how this happened in Because of Winn-Dixie. This is an aha moment that I found near the end. After I show you the aha moment, I'm going to walk you through kind of a think aloud of how I could ask myself the question of, how might this change things for Opal? "Do you think she's ever going to come back?" I whispered. "No," the preacher said. "No, I do not. I've hoped and prayed and dreamed about it for years, but I don't think she'll ever come back. Gloria says that you can't hold on to anything, that you can only love what you got while you got it." "She's right," the preacher said. "Gloria Dump is right." "I'm not ready to let Winn-Dixie go," I said. I had forgotten about him for a minute, what with thinking about my mama. "We'll keep looking," said the preacher. "The two of us will keep looking for him." But do you know what? I just realized something, India Opal. When I told you your mama took everything with her, I forgot one thing, one very important thing that she left behind. "What?" I asked. "You," he said. "Thank God your mama left me with you." And he hugged me tighter. Now, friends, it's very obvious that Preacher has an aha moment at this point. He realizes how grateful he is for Opal. But it also causes me to wonder if India Opal also had an aha moment. I think it's at this point in the story where she realizes how important she is to Preacher. And I think it's in that realization that she knows she can let go of hanging on to her mama. And that is the beginning of Opal letting her guard down, opening herself to all of her friends, and really changing things for her life there in Naomi. Let's see if you can find an aha moment in the miraculous journey of Edward Tulane and ask yourself, how might it change Edward for the rest of the story? He remembered again Pellegrina's story about the princess who had loved nobody. The witch turned her into a warthog because she loved nobody. He understood that now. He heard Pellegrina say, "You disappoint me." "Why?" he asked her. "Why do I disappoint you?" But he knew the answer to that question too. It was because he had not loved Abilene enough, and now she was gone from him, and he would never be able to make it right. And Nellie and Lawrence were gone too. He missed them terribly. He wanted to be with them. The rabbit wondered if that was love. Let's pause. There are a couple of moments where the author makes it pretty obvious that Edward Tulane has had an aha moment. First of all, she says he understood that now. He understands the story about the princess being turned into a warthog because of one reason. She loved nobody. Another aha moment says right here he knew the answer to that question. It was because he had not loved Abilene enough. Readers, what does this mean about how Edward is going to act throughout the rest of the story? After all, we are only about halfway through this story. How could this change the way he acts for the remaining chapters?